that Mickey Joseph incident was a jolt to the fan base. I mean, there's no doubt about it. It's a big jolt. I mean, I had a few people tell me last night, again, at Omaha Holy Ghost, there's probably 140, 150 people. It's an incredible place. They've been doing that for 40 years, having people go down there and speak on Thursday nights. 40 years minimum. 40 years. And I I had a couple of women say they felt like it was a death.
Jeez, I mean, it's been a weird feeling the last couple of days here.
Yeah, I haven't fully processed it because things have moved really fast. Just work stuff, not anything interesting. Just work, and I don't know. I just think that has affected the Rhule discussion because it came to dominate the discussion yesterday, right? Dominated it. Police report was released. We don't need to. I don't think you want to get into all that.
I don't really want to get too much into that.
So I think people were. Well, I know they were. I know a lot of that crowd in Omaha. It was a jolt to them.
Yeah, I mean, all in all, just an unfortunate series of events for obviously for the family, but for Nebraska football as well. And there is a domino effect that happens with this regarding the football program. Yesterday, as we had not really seen much news regarding the portal. I mean, it had been pretty quiet, and I think we all had been expecting earlier in the week, hey, once we know the status of Mickey Joseph, the football coach, not off the field, but the football coach, we'll know if we have a lot of people leaving or people staying. And with Mickey Joseph, not going to be part of the staff, more than likely than not. Yesterday, you learned that Ernest Hausman from Columbus, Brant Banks, and Dakotas Crawford have entered their names into the portal. The biggest one in terms of who played this year was obviously Ernest Hausman, who we said on the show 2 days ago was one of the five most important players you wanted to keep.
Yeah. Now, here's the deal with Hausman. This is what you wonder. Just because you go into the portal doesn't mean you're leaving.
Right.
And this could just be a leverage play by Hausman for NIL money. How valuable am I, Matt Rhule? Let's see. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, the collectives had a big meeting yesterday of the Big Red Collaborative and the 1890 Initiative. So the names people know are Chris Brown, the former kicker. Remember Chris Brown?
Yeah, sure I do.
Chris Brown, the former Nebraska kicker, former NFL kicker. Mm-hmm. He's kind of the face of the Big Red Collective. And Matt Davison is the face of the 1890 Initiative.
Yeah. Big
meeting yesterday. Not just those two people, other people involved in the collectives had a big meeting with Trev. So they're getting the NIL operation set. And back to Ernest Hausman, a guy like Ernest Hausman might just be saying, okay, what am I worth? All right. If you want to keep me, let's do some business here. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, coaches called me yesterday, asking me about Hausman, two in particular, other coaches, other
different programs,
schools. Yeah.
My initial response was the same as yours, saying, okay, yeah, he's in the portal, but maybe it's a play to get more NIL or again, I don't know if he has intentions to leave or if he has a school picked out he wants to go to.
He might.
As of right now, as of his post, he doesn't have a school he's committing to, but maybe he does. But your hope is, again, that's a guy you saw definitively get better throughout the year and become one of your better players defensively on your whole team, really. The way he played the last month of the season.
4 games, yeah.
Right, but that was your murderer's row we talked about for the season.
Yeah, he played pretty well.
He did. Michigan, again, blowout game, but he played well. He looked fast, had some good hits, wrapped up.
He did.
Wisconsin, Iowa, same story.
Michigan had 10 tackles.
But when he hit, 10. It was the hardest hitting person on the field for Nebraska, at least.
Well, yeah, there's no but. That's a big number. Tackles. 10, his first sack. Against Wisconsin, he had 12 tackles, 10 solo stops. Now, so who you watch? I watched closely the teams that were in on him, beside Nebraska. I mean, I'd watch Iowa.
Well, that would suck.
Yeah, I'd watch Kansas State. I watch Michigan. I'd watch Michigan State.
Michigan saw him.
I'd watch
in
PJ
person.
Fleck. I'd watch PJ Fleck here. Yeah, you kind of hope he doesn't end up in your division, right?
I'm gonna say this. I just a guess. I think Michigan goes after him hard.
Just a guess.
Well, that's someone they saw. They witnessed him play against Nebraska, a game against the Wolverines. Excuse me, a game that they won by 31 points, and that was a guy making plays on the field more than anybody else for Nebraska. So we shall see.
Oh, no, Jake, I'm with you. He played well.
Again, the hope is that it's an NIL play and that Matt Rhule and whoever the new linebackers coach that comes in will be able to keep him.
Yeah. And Matt Davison.
And the NIL collective.
The general manager.
Let's get him in front of Davison.
I don't know how that
Get him in the room.
I don't know. I don't want to go down that road too far of Matt's involvement, but there's no doubt. I mean, let's put it this way. A lot of players are going to do that. They're going to put their name in the portal. It's a leverage play.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that Hausman's doing that, but it would make sense to me if he is. I don't have a read on what his thinking is, but that's going to happen. Now I do have a read on the other ones, or for sure DeColdis. I think DeColdis will be gone.
Yep.
He followed Mickey here.
He did.
He
was
was
Louisiana.
Yeah, and Mickey was recruiting him at LSU, and then DeColdis Crawford just decided to follow Mickey.
I mean, there are guys that are just tied to him.
Yeah.
And so, did they like Nebraska enough to stay here if he's not here? I don't know, but it does make you get a job anywhere. That's the big question: is can he go anywhere with this situation?
The interesting thing right now that we haven't talked about much is most of the staff. It's pretty clear isn't going to be back, but the one that we don't know right now that has a shot, it looks like, is Donovan Raiola. I mean, Donovan his name's attached to recruits on social media. He's, and I was told that he's in the hunt. Now there's a guy named Dylan Raiola.
You may have heard of him before. He's a pretty good quarterback.
Yeah. And now he is verbally committed to Ohio State, but he's a 2024 kid.
Are they going for the same play that Scott Frost was going for with Donovan and Dylan?
Yeah, maybe. But anyway, he's a year away from enrolling. That's a long time. That's a long time. And there's already, come on. I mean, I'm not saying his recruitment's open, but it's not closed. Okay. It's not closed. So I guess it's open.
Okay. Good job. Hey, that's good analysis right there.
Hey,
what?
Easy.
It's a joke. Calm down over there.
You calm down.
I'm calm. I'm the calmest I've ever been.
I'm still wondering about this shirt.
What's wrong with it? Tell the listeners what's wrong with the shirt. Go ahead. Speak it to existence.
It's aqua. It's short.
I wear a lot of aqua shirts for my
do you?
For my NFL team. This is not the same color of aqua. It's a lighter color of aqua.
It's light aqua.
It's got like some flower stuff on it.
It's clover. It's adorned.
Those
are not clovers.
I got this at a nice golf course. Okay, and it was not on discount either. Now, if it was on discount, you can make fun of it. Saying
you got that at
a reason.
You got that at a nice Walmart.
No, I did not. I bought this at a pro shop at a golf course.
Those are not clovers, you idiot.
What are they? What would you describe that as?
Not clover.
What would you describe?
Not clover.
4-leaf clover.
Those are not 4-leaf clovers.
A leaf? Are they leaves?
All right, we have to get this back on track.
Idle Chit Chat, sponsored by Newton's Lawn Care in Lincoln.
Yeah, and I shouldn't judge your shirts because I'm wearing a T-shirt. I don't know why you don't fire back at me.
Well, I love the Lincoln T-shirts. That's our friend Derek Bond.
Oh, that's why you
those
fire
shirts.
back.
No, I love those shirts.
Oh, that's why.
I wear them on vacations a lot. Bring them with me. My wife makes fun of me saying, well, another Lincoln shirt. So, yeah, I'm showing where I'm from to all the people here. Put on for my city. I put on for my city.
Sometimes I don't know. Anyway, Idle Chit Chat.
Sponsored by Newton's Lawn Care.
Yeah. We got a little more idle chit chat here.
The cough drops are back, and someone who commented on the cough drop situation, Dakota, says, "Great, the cough drops are back. At least use them like an adult, not sucking them while you talk." Sip. John says, "Please spit out the cough drops." Sip. Joe, all cap letters, take that damn cough drop out of Sip's mouth, Jake.
Oh, God.
That's 3 people.
Is it noticeable?
Apparently so. I've gotten used to it, so it doesn't even bother me anymore. But you had 3 people out of nowhere just text about the cough drop.
It's
situation.
clinking around in there.
Yeah,
I just don't know. I know it's clinking around, but I don't know if anybody can hear it. But I'm right on the microphone.
There it is. Another person says the cough drop noises are extreme today. Sipple has no room to be bashing your shirt.
The cough drop noises. I mean, we're in a situation here because they do help. You notice they do help the
moment that you start coughing though, and they don't help, then you gotta get rid of them.
Okay, but you've noticed that they are effective. I don't clear my throat as much.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to duck out beside the microphone and cough.
Would the texters prefer you to suck on a cough drop and avoid coughing, or once in a while hear the epic coughs that you have at times?
Epic coughs.
There's some epic ones. And I have some epic coughs too.
Okay.
But you have them more often than me.
I made fun of your shirt, so
you
I have
did. Yeah, look, you had it coming. You brought it upon yourself.
I am making fun of that shirt, by the way.
Well, if people are watching on the video stream, you can see my shirt.
It's a July or it's like a June
shirt. Listen, I wear polos throughout the year.
I
do sales after the show. It's my attire I wear. I go through the wardrobe in my closet and I pick out the same rotation of shirts, basically. This one's not in the rotation. It's outside the rotation. I brought it in for a random Friday. Is the shirt crazy? Viewers on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube?
Yes. Idle Chit Chat, sponsored by
Newton's Lawn Care.
Okay.
All right. So I have a question.
Okay.
We've already discussed Ernest Hausman, Brant Banks, DeColdis Crawford in the portal. I'm sure there'll be more players to enter as the week goes on, as the weekend approaches, and we have next week.
Yeah, I imagine.
The portal goes crazy December 5th, right? That's when it opens up.
Now, there's a whole discussion there. I thought they couldn't go in till December 5th, and nobody's really given me an adequate answer as to what's going on here. I didn't think the portal opened until December 5th.
Well, maybe it's not open, but you can make your intentions known before that, possibly.
The coaches know who's in the portal right now. They're in. Okay, anyway.
Can they pursue them until the 5th, though?
There's a question.
Legally.
Yeah, but legally.
What's legal anymore in college football?
Well, and I don't know, but
tampering seems to be encouraged at this point.
We do know that it's open for this period until January 18th, I think is the date. January 18th. So that's the period. Now, will there be players from Nebraska going in every single day? I hope not. I don't think it'll work that way.
Well, when you have a new coach and you have assistants leaving, and it's pretty much all an entirely new staff, you're going to have roster turnover. It's unavoidable. It's unavoidable. I mean, you could have brought in Nick Saban and had roster turnover, guys leaving.
I suppose
that'd be odd for those players to leave, knowing that's the best coach we've ever seen.
It would be because that coach is saying you can't play here. Probably you're probably not going to play here, and some of that is happening. I mean, there are player-coach meetings that I don't know if those sorts of meetings have transpired yet. Rhule only has 6 of his coaches in place, and I don't know if they've been in town meeting with their position groups. It seems like that would be very quick. But there are some players that will be told, look, it probably is not going to work here. That happens. It's probably not going to work. I mean, you can stay, but I mean, this is who's ahead of you.
Well, at this point, you don't know who your defensive coordinator is for Nebraska.
No, we don't.
You don't know your linebackers coaches, right? You know Terrence Knighton's defensive line. You got Evan Cooper is corners,
some portion
/ recruiting.
Yeah,
but you don't know linebackers, and you don't know the coordinator. I mean, there's some missing parts that are very important in terms of keeping guys around or assessing the situation here.
So what does it say to you that Hausman left before there's a defensive coordinator or a linebackers coach in place?
Well, to me it's just the uncertainty of the situation right now for Ernest. Is he just doing this to know I have I can go back to Nebraska. I can't, but I can also see what's out there, see what feelers are out there for schools. If there's NIL money out there that's bigger than here or just better. So
It's
by the way, regarding the portal, and you're right, it's supposed to open up the 5th. I mean, there was news yesterday that Cade McNamara is going to Iowa. The Michigan transfer, per Iowa reporters, is committing to Iowa.
Is that right? Cade McNamara,
the guy who started in Lincoln last year in the great game that Nebraska lost close, that lost the job to J.J. McCarthy
I know,
this year.
Yeah, Cade McNamara played very well in Lincoln
He's a good
last
player.
season, 2020.
He's an upgrade for sure over Alex Padilla and Spencer Petras.
Hot take.
You and me are upgrades over those two guys.
Very hot take there.
Just making sure people
go right on a limb.
I'm just making sure you and I could be upgrades against over Petras and Padilla.
Yeah. But McNamara's legit.
Yeah.
Just when I start now, hold on though. Did he commit to Brian Ferentz? I mean,
I just saw reporters from Iowa saying that McNamara is going there.
But
yeah, who did he commit to? If you were a Nebraska fan, you say, yes, I hope it was Brian Ferentz. Keep Brian Ferentz.
Does Kirk Ferentz say, hey, my son just brought in one of the best transfer quarterbacks available?
Yep, better keep him, Kirk. You better keep Brian.
And does this mean Iowa has turned up its NIL game? Because they haven't been.
No.
They're not an operator. But they must be. I mean, they haven't been now. They must be now. McNamara's not going there for free, right?
No
way. In fact, that's what's interesting about this to me, and I will look into it for Monday. Iowa must have jumped in to the NIL game.
About time. It's about time.
It's also possible, and we're working through these conversations. It's also possible that McNamara doesn't need the money and doesn't care about that. There are players like that, Jake.
They do exist.
Yeah, there are players that just don't participate in it. They literally don't participate. They just don't. I don't know why they don't. There's probably various reasons they don't. But McNamara, that is a huge
I don't know the NIL situation with Iowa. It doesn't say the article right now. It's not clear enough exactly what got him to go there. But here's the deal. If you're a Nebraska fan, and you make fun of Iowa and Brian Ferentz, hang on a second, and you make fun of Brian Ferentz, why would you want him to leave?
Why would you want?
If Brian Ferentz is helping you beat Iowa because he's inept and won't change his ways, you should want him to be there as long as you can.
Yeah,
and make fun of him.
Yeah,
not call for a fire.
Brian Ferentz isn't particularly interesting to me. McNamara had a serious knee injury. Kaz is saying. You guys read anything? I don't think he can play next year.
He's a grad transfer.
I'm looking at a picture of him, and he had just had major knee surgery, so I don't think next year he would play.
Well, that's odd then, to sit out for a year.
Yeah.
Regardless, that was the news in Iowa. Was that Cade McNamara is going to play for the Hawkeyes?
Iowa. Wow. Anyway,
they need a quarterback badly. So
yeah, I don't know what this portal thing's going to look like for Nebraska. I just don't. There's some big names though that you're looking at. AJ Allen, right?
Yep.
And Garrett Nelson. I mean, those are the two that really are big to me. I haven't heard anything, for the record, by the way. I haven't heard anything about AJ Allen thinking about leaving.
That'd be nice. Again, he came here. Brian Applewhite was a big reason why he came here.
Now he will not be part of the staff.
Right. Brian Applewhite's not going to be in with Nebraska,
right?
Going forward.
But I have not heard anything I've heard that Garrett Nelson may be considering leaving. So, and I don't mind saying that because I was told by someone who knows very well about what's going on. But I don't think anything's final there. It's pretty fluid, Jake. Everything's pretty fluid.
I just assumed that
the roster is really fluid.
I just assumed that today, Sunday or Saturday, Sunday, you're going to hear just a lot of different pieces. I'm entering into the portal, even though it officially opens on the 5th.
Yeah. Since
people are already starting to say it, I mean, now it's like, okay, I'm supposed to wait till the 5th, but I'm going to do it right now. Why not?
Yeah.
So expect to see just some pieces.
Yeah,
going in there.
I think you're probably right.
Why is that? Yeah, I mean, why is that so crazy to even say that? It's not crazy. I mean, you're seeing across the country. I see all the time. I'm putting my name into the portal. I mean, it's not like this is Nebraska doing something nobody else is doing.
No,
ahead of the portal period.
That is why the talk. Well, we don't have to reopen this wound, but this whole thing about what are your expectations next year? Having that conversation right now is why? Why do you have it now? You don't know what the team's going to look like. Why put it? We're going to do this again where we're going to get in a fight. Why put expectations on a head coach when you don't know what the roster is going to look like?
Well, it is hard to do that. It's just a general expectation for the program when you have the second highest paid coach in the conference.
To which I will continue to ask you this question. He's making $74 million.
Yeah.
Over
8 years.
What if he was making $52 million over 7?
It probably
then would you change your expectations? Would you say, okay, he doesn't have to win 6, let's just say 4. He's only making $52 million.
Well,
why does that matter?
I'd say this. I mean, regarding this year's team, look at what happened this year. They went 4-8. If you talk to almost anybody, they would say that, hey, you should have beat Wisconsin. You had that game wrapped up.
That's a productive discussion. Saying he's making $74 million, therefore should win 6 games. That's not productive to me.
Well, it's a general expectation for that coach.
I guess. Sort of.
But again, can we? Why is it so ridiculous to still expect just make a bowl game? It's 6 games.
We're not going to do this.
Nebraska has found epic ways to not be in a bowl game the last couple of years where they had it. Wisconsin, they had the game wrapped up. They were winning for 59 minutes.
Here's why.
And lost.
Here's why I find it repulsive. Because it once again, it's Nebraska fan you.
It's not haughty. 6 wins is not
Nebraska
haughty.
fan you. Just saying, I need everything right now. I just need it right now. And that's been the problem here. A lot of it, I think.
I think you're hearing me say 9-10 wins. I'm not. I'm saying 6. Don't hear things I'm not saying.
Or I'll take my ball and crawl in the corner and go home.
I would bet that if you're Matt Rhule, if you talk to me, you'd say, well, why shouldn't we have a goal to make a bowl game or expectation?
Goal is one thing, but you taking your little ball and crawling into the corner if they don't is another.
I'm not crawling in the corner. I'm out here in the playground, baby. I'm right in the middle saying, come at me.